Alright, I might have a problem. And this is one of those beekeeping videos where I'm not standing here pretending I have all the answers. I recently treated my hives for Varroa mites using Formic Pro. And now, I think I may have lost some of my queens. Let me explain what happened, because if you're thinking about using Formic Pro, there are some things you need to know. First of all, treating for Varroa is incredibly important. Varroa mites can weaken a colony, spread viruses, shorten the lifespan of your bees, and ultimately contribute to losing the entire hive. So ignoring Varroa isn't really an option. But here's the other side of it. The treatment itself can put stress on a colony. Formic Pro uses formic acid, and one of its biggest advantages is that formic acid vapor can penetrate cap brood and kill mites reproducing underneath those cappings. It can also be used when honey supers are on, according to the label. But Formic Pro isn't something I would treat casually. Temperature matters, ventilation matters, colony condition matters, and there are known potential effects during treatment, including brood interruption, increased bee mortality, and in some circumstances, queen loss or queen problems. That brings me to my hives. After treatment, I went back in and something didn't look right. No brood. Not one hive. Not in two. Right now, I'm not seeing brood in any of my 4 hives. And 2 of those colonies have what appear to be supersedure cells. That's when the alarm bells started going off in my head. Did the treatment cause a brood break? Did something happen to the queens? Did the colonies decide their queens needed replacing? Or is something else going on? That's the frustrating part of beekeeping. You don't always get an immediate answer. And correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation, so I'm not going to stand here and tell you that Formic Pro definitely killed my queens. I don't know that. But the timing means I absolutely have to consider it as one possibility. And now I've got another problem. We're getting later in the season here in the Fraser Valley, and this isn't spring when I can simply wait around forever and see what happens. Winter is coming. The colonies need healthy populations of winter bees. They need food, and most importantly, they need queens. So I'm going back into these hives. I want to see what happened with those queen cells. Did they hatch? Is there a virgin queen running around in there? Has she mated? Do I eventually start seeing eggs again? Because remember, even if a queen successfully emerges, you don't necessarily see eggs immediately. She still needs time to mature, take mating flights, successfully mate, and begin laying. So I'm going to give the bees an appropriate amount of time, but I also can't wait forever. If these colonies truly are queenless and they don't successfully requeen themselves, then I'm going to have some decisions to make. Do I buy replacement queens if I can still find them? Do I combine colonies? Do I let the bees finish what they've already started? Those are decisions I'm going to have to make very soon. And while all of this is happening, I'm also going to start feeding, because heading toward fall, I want these colonies building up their food reserves and getting themselves into the strongest possible position for winter. This is also why I make these videos. Not just to show you the honey harvests, not just the beautiful frames of brood, not just the days when everything goes perfectly well. This is beekeeping too. Sometimes you make a decision because you're trying to protect your colonies from one of their biggest threats. And then you're standing beside your hives wondering, do I just create another problem? Did I just create another problem? I don't know yet, but we're going to find out together. I'm going back into these colonies, checking those queen cells, looking carefully for queens, watching for eggs and new brood, and feeding these colonies. And I'll show you exactly what happens, because if those queens have successfully emerged and get mated, we might be completely fine. But if they haven't, I've got 4 hives heading toward fall with no brood, and I'm going to have to make some decisions fast. Stay tuned for the next inspection, because right now, I genuinely don't know what I'm going to find.